Okay, yes, this is a workout that I'm going to say after the storm, after a tornado, which means losing sleep, which means, stress, everything. So there's tornadoes came through, they were everywhere. We lost power. I'm in this little thing. Anyway, here's the deal. If you're going to make exercise real for you, when you've lost a lot of sleep, you don't want to do super hard workout, but you want to make your muscles feel like they did something. And so how do you do that? That's what this workout's going to be. So I'm telling you, I need to feel load. Your muscles, when you've been stressed, if you will just make them feel a bit of a load, you're going to feel so much better. And that's what this workout's about. So how are we going to do that? Okay, I got my free weights here. If you had a weight vest and could just put a weight vest on, that would be good. If you don't, and you just want to use body loading, perfectly fine. But I am telling you, this is the workout when you've been through stress, a little bit of stress, which means a lot of stress if you've lost sleep. And when you're in strange places, a lot of times people don't sleep well. And then you get up. Do you see what I'm doing right now? I'm doing a walkthrough right here. I'm just doing a walkthrough. As I set up the class, I'm going to go to the side, to the side. Okay, I just want to work through some ranges. Now I'm going to add my arm element. So as I step, I'm pulling across. I'm going to show you this workout today where I just feel my muscles get a load. Okay, if you haven't slept, nobody can know what kind of stresses people go under. But if you haven't slept, that is a stress. So you have to know that. Actually, that's one of the reasons why so many people, it stops them working out. It's because they're so dogged and tired, they can't get all ramped up to do some kind of big, screaming and yelling workout. You got to make your muscles feel a load. So range of motion, side to side, front to back, side to side. So as I do this now, I'm going to go this way again. I'm going to go this way again, this way again. Then I'm going to go up and turn. I'm just giving my Achilles, my feet, my ankles, my core, my back, a little wake up. Especially if you lost sleep and you feel like so tired that you just cannot do anything. That's the problem. A lot of times we just say, oh, not today. I mean, there is times after doing that little bit of work, I'm just gonna go into, and I'm gonna use as my premise with this workout to load those 5 very crucial moves. And I'll tell you, if you just come into this right here, okay, I'll do it sideways so you see. I'm just stepping wide. I'm swinging my butt back. I'm going to bring my shoulders to my ears and really push back. Then I'm going to come up, keep my knees bent, drop my chin, push my hips forward. I don't even bring my hands up right now. Then I'm going to go right back into that. Right into this. Then I'm going to go to the elbows. Then I'm going to go to a 3-point stance. A 3-point stance. And as I do the 3 points touching, I'm swinging from side to side, rotating, shifting. Now is when you put your shoulders down. You put your shoulders down. You put your shoulders down. I keep repeating that because when you put your elbow on your knee, it's very tempting to bring your shoulders way up around your ears. We don't want to do that right now. We want to go from side to side, and you want to have your legs wide enough so that when you do the swinging, You feel that stretch in your groin. So this is a crucially important preparatory move. And every time that I stay down here, every minute that or second that I stay down here, I keep dropping the hip. And I swing, and if you need to go wider with your feet. Then put your elbows on your knee and drop your hips, drop your hips, drop your hips, drop your hips, drop your hips. Then you come back up, take a big deep breath, push those hips forward with your knees soft. Drop your shoulders. Now you bring your shoulders up. Now you pull your shoulders back. Now you put your shoulders down. Now you bring them forward and you round your upper back while you tighten in on the gluteals and you really round the upper back. And you drop your chin, take breaths, hold it here, really round your shoulders forward. Now bring them up. And I mean bring them up as far as you can possibly bring them. And all the way up. Take a breath. Now push them down. Pretend I'm there and I've got my hands on your shoulders and I'm pushing them down. Okay? When you've lost sleep, when you've been under stress at all, sick, anything, you tend to carry your shoulders around in a hunchy position. So this kind of shoulder rolling on purpose is one of the best things you can do when you are feeling stressed or you've lost sleep or you're just super tired for whatever reason. Okay, now, other end. We're gonna bring the knee up to the counter. I'll call it knee to the counter. Everybody has a counter. Everybody has a table. Everybody has a chair. If you don't, just see, this is my chair right here. I can bring my knee to the chair. So if you hang on to the chair, if you hang on to the counter, I don't care. But we're going to counter what we just did. We're going to bring it up here like this, and we're going to hang out here for a bit. So what you should notice is, see, I've got my wall, I got my counter over here. My knee is up here, and it's just kind of hanging out there. And then I'm going to turn, I'm going to rotate. Okay, I'm pushing against the counter and I'm looking over my shoulder. And then I'm gonna do that again. So one of the things I was gonna tell you that you should notice is that when you've lost sleep, when you've been under stress, you've been sick, whatever, you don't have to go so fast to get that magic happening in your muscles. So see, I'm gonna put my knee here. So I'm at a 90 degrees. I'm kind of resting on the chair. Or I could rest on the counter, whichever one works for you. And then I just rotate. See that? So I'm pushing against the counter and it's there. Back to what you should notice. I know, Kathy's rolling her eyes. You were going to tell us, what should we notice? You don't have to go super fast. You don't have to work up a huge sweat to get molecules of motion working their magic. That's the point. So I've done full ranges of motion now. I have my weights right here, right? I went into a full squat just a minute ago, right? I went down into here, then I dropped my butt more, and I dropped my butt more, and I dropped my butt more, and I went into the 3-point standing. As I hold it down here, and I feel contractions. That's the key thing. Contract those muscles. Just squeeze them tight and release. If you can only do that, you're going to feel better because your muscles hold the magic. Contract those muscles, whether you do it against a weight or you do it in an isometric hold. See, I'm tightening, then I release. Try to remember that, okay? So now here is my weight. So I'm gonna use both hands And I'm gonna pick up one of the weights with both hands. It's gonna be a medium heavy. So for me, I'm gonna pick up 12. It's the first weight I'm picking up. But we've moved. We've started the contractions going. We're getting the muscles to feel a little better in the stressed state. And if you haven't slept well, you are in a stressed state. Okay, so here I go. I'm going to grab my 12-pound weight with both hands, and I'm going to hang out where I practiced just a second ago. So I'm just hanging out here, and I'm pushing into the heel, and my elbows are on my knees. And then I'm going to drop my butt just a little more, and I'm going to drop my chin. Then I'm going to release that weight or the elbows from the knees and go to the floor. And then I'm going to come right to here again. So I'm going to go from the knees, take a breath, drop your shoulders, take another breath, stay into the heels. Okay, they're wide, and just hang out here for a second. Drop your butt now, 1 inch. Drop your butt just 1 inch. Take a big deep breath. Take a big deep breath. Now release the elbows, go down with the weight, go into the heels, into the heels, into the heels, and then come back. And don't come straight up. You're gonna want to, don't do it. Take a big breath. Go into the heels, drop your butt, not your head. Again, right down. Let those elbows come off. Hold it down there, and then come up, and then come up. Right now, you should be screaming. These right here contracted really hard because of doing it that way, okay? So, yeah, I'm demanding oxygen and air. Put your medium weight with both hands on one knee. Bring that right here. Just tap your shoulder. Don't go any further, okay? Take a big breath through your nose. I'm gonna swing the axe, so to speak. So that's my cue. And if we were all out chopping wood, that's a big de-stressor. Here we go, right across. See that? So I'm not going real deep. I'm recovering. I'm doing this with both hands. And a lot of times, the both hands on the weight is a very functional move. And this is a very functional move in many sports, in work. Chopping the axe is just a good cueing. Do you see how I just put it right there on my knee? So I'm feeling pressure, but I'm not going to a mental state of jumping all over the place and we got to do it so fast. No, you don't. You got to just make your muscles feel a load, because your muscles are experiencing with your brain, with your muscles, with your joints, with your tendons, the stress of not sleeping. As I said, being maybe a little bit under the weather. You just don't feel quite right. The worst thing, not the worst thing, but one of the things that could help you feel better, you don't do. And it's because of your mental state. How do you change your mental state? You change your physical state. And this is one of the ways to do it. Now I've stayed on one side for a little bit. Now I'm gonna go wide, and I'm gonna put it down to the middle again. And I'm gonna drop that butt. I'm gonna drop the butt. Let me turn so you'll see what I'm doing. Drop the butt, not the head. And you're hanging out down here with that weight hovering above the ground, and then you come back up, okay? Take a big deep breath through your nose. Big deep breath through your nose. Now I'm gonna go to the other leg, and I'm doing a little sit down, and I'm gonna come right here to the front of the shoulder, not to the back, not way up, to the front of the shoulder. Then I'm gonna swing that axe. I'm not doing a full straight arm swing. I'm pulling right to there. Taking a breath. I'm coming right to here. Push into your butt, into your heels. Breath. And as you swing, exhale. Take a breath, then exhale. Take a breath, and then exhale. Okay? Every time you come up, every time you go down, you do that hip hinge. You bend those knees. Okay? Take a big breath. We've got about 2 or 3 more. Here we go. Take a breath. Right to there. One more, just one more. Okay, we're gonna go down. Stay with me, go wide. You're gonna put your elbows on your knees. You gotta learn this little technique here because this is one of the best, most functional moves you can do. It's just that you're only shown one way a lot of times. It's just not true. The point is, you're trying to get gentle, medium, and heavy load on your functional muscles. So now, after we've held here, and I know Kathy's counting how long we're holding, drop your shoulders, number 1. Breath, number 2. Release those elbows, number 3. Go down and hover. Hover with the weight pulling you down. Hover, drop your butt, drop your butt, drop your butt. Come back. And bring the weight right here. Right here. Right here. Because now we're going to go right here to the front. So what I'm trying to do is to consider all of us that have shoulder issues. But bringing the weight up, number 1, is functional, but it can be very hurtful on a lot of shoulder, neck, upper body, lower back, if you're not careful. And when you're under a lot of stress, you want to be very careful shoving a lot of weight upward. Okay, so what am I doing? I'm dropping my shoulders. I'm softening my knees. I'm holding a 12-pound weight. I'm working with both hands. And I'm going to go right where I'm touching the weight, right to my forehead. And I'm taking a breath. Then I'm going to go just down and up. I'm going to go to the nose, to the forehead, to the nose, to the forehead, to the nose, to the forehead. Keep your shoulders down. Nose to the forehead. Nose to the forehead. Bring it down and bring it down. Yay. Okay. Now I'm going to put that weight down and I'm going to go up. I'm going to go to 15. Okay. We're going to go to a 15. Now I'm going to pick it up together and then I'm going to transfer it. So we're going around the bush of trying to get ourselves loaded a little different. Okay. A little different. All right. So there's my 15-pound weight. I'm going to take a wide stance, swing the butt back. As I'm on my way down, I'm just going to take my time. I'm going to grab my weight with both hands, pick it up, and bring it right up. So let's do that one more time. Bring it right here and up. You need to be very aware of feeling the weight in your feet. So here I go. I'm going to go down. I'm picking up the weight. And right here is where a lot of you mess up. You know what we do? We go down like this. We don't bend. And we try to pick a weight up. And it doesn't even have to be 15 pounds. It could be a shoe. Okay? For Nancy, it's a shoe. I don't know if she's on this morning. Make her ears burn. Bend. Push your hip back. If you're having hip issues, then don't do the weight. do a chair, do a high hip hinge, do this, and then this. See, if you're having wonky hips, you don't do the full thing. But if you're still ambulating around your house, your yard, getting in the car, going to the bathroom, you got to help yourself be functional, is my point. So if this is not going to work for you today, then do the hip hinge from a high bench, okay? Or pretend that it's a high bench. This move right here, the hip hinge, a high one, that's money. Do them. If you can't go down any further, that's fine. So if you do like to go down, don't let those knees come in on you, number one. Hip hinge out, number two. There's my target weight. I'm gonna drop my butt. And then I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna unhinge. And I'm gonna bring that weight here. And I'm gonna bring it over here. Then I'm gonna transfer it to this side, okay? So here I am, standing with a heavier weight. I picked it up tandemly together, and then I put it over here. See this? So here's the deal. Yeah, I would normally pick up both weights, and I'd be walking, you know. No, if you've lost a lot of sleep, if you're under a lot of stress, if you've been sick, just a little under the weather, that's enough. Peel back a little bit, but don't just 100% quit. You've just lost one of your best allies to help you feel better, which is put load on your muscles. That's the point. So now, do you see what I've done? I've gone from one side to the other side. And here's what you should have noticed. This is a 15-pound weight. Drop your shoulder. It can be whatever you want it to be. It could be a 1-pound weight. And the same principle that I'm fixing to tell you still applies. Number one, your knees can't be locked. Number two, the rib cage has to be up. Number three, the shoulders have to be down. Because when you're transferring a weight in the front of you, your tendency is to do this. And you know I just caught you, right? So I'm saying, don't do that. So how do you not do that? You say rib cage up. You really drop those shoulders. You pull right to here. Do not sink. You transfer and you come back. You take a breath. You bring it right here. And you do not bend forward. Soften your knees. I'm feeling that dryness in my throat again. Here we go, right here. Oh, the last thing I was going to tell you, you do not drop your shoulders. See, I'm transferring a 15-pound weight from this side to this side, and I'm keeping firm. I'm keeping in symmetry. So this transfer, if you were to do this, even a set of 10, even 2 sets of 10, but let's just focus on 1 set of 10. I don't want to go fast, number one. Okay, so I'm doing this workout as if you've lost a ton of sleep, which I have, and you're just feeling a little, you know, oh, maybe I have some little sniffle. Okay, oh, let me just not work out. There are times that that's true. However, now hold this here. And now go down a tiny bit and pull back. See that one move? This one move uses a totally different muscle than the one that you normally see people do, which they want to go to the side. And what do? They swing their butt. That's going to screw up your back. You come here. If you have a significant weight for you, you keep your shoulders down, your knees soft, rib cage up. And now when I go down, the hips don't swing. armpit tries to go toward the hip bone. And then you tighten in your tummy to bring it up. I would rather see somebody get a significant weight in their hand, get a good postural set, and then take their armpit to their hip bone. No hip swinging. You're gonna now, in order to get it back up, guess what I have to do? I have to pull through my abdominal muscles. Much rather get somebody to do this properly than 10,000 mindless sit-ups. Okay, I overstated. Let's say 50 or 50 not very good setups. So here I am, see? Armpit to hip bone, pull up, okay? Armpit to hip bone, pull up. You don't see my hips swing, and you feel all kinds of stuff going on in your core, because to get up, I have to contract here. Boom. I don't pull it up with my shoulder. That's the other little foible that you don't want to fall into. So you're right here. You're dropping the shoulders. You're letting that armpit go to that hip bone. Now contract, pull. Here we go. Contract, pull. Big breath through the nose. Exhale. Contract it up. Here we go. Contract it up. Take a breath. Up. Here we go. Pull. Okay, so one of the best things you can do when you're just feeling like, whoa, did I have a night? And all you want to do is lay on the couch. I know it. I'm trying to appeal to your whole life as a scope. And you're like, you know what? Let me do 20 or 30 minutes with this crazy woman and see if I feel better. So this kind of a thing right here that I'm doing helps to counteract a lot of poor standing, sitting, laying postures. This right here. Pull with the stomach and come up. Pull with the stomach and come up. Don't displace the hips. Do 1, then do 2 per side, then do 3 per side, then do 4 per side. Okay? Now bring that 15-pound weight right here to the middle. Okay? Right here to the middle. Soften the knees and just come to a high hip hinge. See that? See, I'm not going all the way down. Okay, so I'm tailoring this workout specifically for those of you who might have fitful sleep, or you're traveling, or in the case of me right now, you know, with tornado warnings all around and all that, you know, you just start thinking, well, I wonder when a tree's going to come down on this thing. We're hitting our muscles. We're not trying to burn bridges down or burn barns down. We're trying to get our muscles to feel a little load. Because why? Because we're going to feel tons better. So see, when I'm doing this, I keep my shoulders down. I push the hip hinge back. I don't go very far. But at this point, when I have 15 pounds pulling through the shoulders, and the back is the stability, and the hip and the knees, and just do this, and when you get to the top, this is the key. Right now, I am squeezing my butt muscles really hard. Okay, take a breath. Exhale. Just go high. This is a high one. I'm not going deep, but I am contracting all the way up the chain from my feet all the way up to my head, because I'm keeping my chin tucked. Right now I'm squeezing my gluteals super hard. Then I come down, high hip, and then come. If you could just see your way through to do 2 sets of possibly 6. take a break, or 2 sets of 10. High hip hinge, squeeze your gluteals, drop your shoulders, hanging on to a pretty decent weight, just like this. You're going to be amazed at how much better your back, your shoulders, and your hips feel. Take a breath. And I got one more, and this is a high hip hinge. It's right here. Take a breath and pull, just like that. Okay, now I'm gonna keel my weights back down. I'm gonna go to a 9 and a 9 on my weight loads. So now I'm going from single carry arm. Now I'm gonna pick up both. They're not gonna be super light, so they're in a medium range. So I'll say medium. So I'm gonna go wide, swing the hips, come down, grab those weights, get any that you want. If you want to go a little heavier, great, do it. But we're just going to carry this thing. Okay, see, I'm just ambulating, I'm turning. I'm doing 1, 2, 3 to 4 steps. And I'm turning, and I'm stepping. And I'm going to do that a couple of times forward, and then I'm going to go back. Okay, make sure you're not going to trip on anything. Okie dokie, and go back. Take a breath. After you've gone forward and back, then you're going to bring those weights right here to your shoulders. Is this as heavy as I could possibly take? No, not at all. I just want to feel load coming down my frame, because then the muscles create their magic. They change your brain. They change the way you feel, because it works on your muscles. It works on your brain. And that's what you got to keep remembering. And that's why you want to just say, let me just do some loading. And you might pull this workout up. I wanted to just fully load my frame. I didn't want to do hot and heavy of anything. But this right here, walking around for anywhere from 3 to 5 to 10 minutes around your house in a good postural set, and you're hanging on to this. Oh my goodness. Everything, all those joints have to feel this load. They have to work. And they're working against an additional 18 pounds to my body weight, which is exactly what you need to do if you're going to feel better today. Okay, so I'm going to put these down, step wide, down. Then I'm going to, here's a kitchen cabinet, here's a counter. Pick anything, pick a wall. I could grab this wall. There's a little casing on the wall. Anything you want to that's not going to move. And just step through and turn and look over your shoulder. See that? Take a big deep breath, drop your shoulder. See that? See, I just hung my fingers right here on the counter or on the cabinet. It could be a door frame. It could be anything that doesn't move. And then turn yourself away from, you gotta keep this shoulder down. You gotta keep this chin down. You gotta breathe. Don't lock your knees, and don't be scrunching your toes. I keep going over this because these are the habits that we get into that create tension where we don't want it. Okay, and it's just a habitual thing. So here's the cabinet. I'm going to turn this way, straight arm, drop my shoulder, and look over my shoulder here. Soften my knees, drop my chin, really open that shoulder. So this is for Kay. I don't know if she's on, but this is for her. Take a breath, drop your shoulder again. Take a breath, drop your shoulder, and then pull it down. Yeah, just like that. Then it gets that same counter Or let's say your kitchen chair. If you have your kitchen chair, you can do the back of it, or you can do the lower seat, whichever works for you. You're gonna step back. You're gonna put your elbows down on that chair. You're gonna bend your knees as far as you can. See, just like this, but don't let your knees collapse. So I've got my elbows on my kitchen chair, and I'm really sitting back into this bended leg. Big stretches right back here. Yes. Don't let your knees come in. Drop your shoulders. Drop your shoulders. Drop your shoulders. And then come up. Now is when you stretch that hamstring. Now is when you come into as close to the knees as you can. And you're stretching all through here. You take a big breath. Then you're going to swing and come back and step into it. So we've done about 30 minutes. We've loaded, we've gone through full ranges of motion, and you need to kind of take stock. If you did this whole thing with me and really pushed the postural part of it. If you've lost sleep, if you're under stress and you just don't feel quite good, you feel like you're coming down with something, put a little load on those muscles. You'll feel so much better. And you don't have to do the full session. You don't have to, do it fast. But you're going to feel better if you do this. And that's our class today. And I'm going to take us off record.